Hey there guys, currently sat in my 2006 BMW X5. I've had it for about a month and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a quick owner's review. There's a couple that I found on YouTube, which I was looking at before purchasing the car, but there was nothing sort of that I could see in Australia about them review-wise, and I just thought it would be, hopefully useful for someone. Anyway, I've got the 3 litre diesel variety. I believe in Australia you could also get 3 litre petrol, and there was two V8 variants as well. There was I think a 4.6 and a 4.8, which were apparently quite quick cars, but the V8s apparently came with their own issues, especially as they start to get a bit older. I did actually used to own an E39, which the X5 I'm told is based on, and it was a really nice car, but it had a 3.5 litre V8, and by the end of the time that I owned that, it started causing heaps of dramas. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. I can only really comment on the 3 litre diesel that I've got in terms of personal experience, but what I'll do, I'll go for a quick drive and just talk you over what I've found with the car, how I found the car, for the past month that I've owned it, and then I'll just do a quick walk around and hopefully it will help someone, especially if you're looking at buying one. That's not the easiest space to pull out here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of power. So that's one of the things that I really like about the X5. It's really, really torquey. So I actually purchased the car to tow our caravans around. Previous to this, I had a Holden Jackaroo, a 1999 model, which was it was a great off-road four-wheel drive, but it was just getting really, really old and long in the tooth, and it started smoking oil, producing lots of oil or smoke when it started up in the morning and wasn't running right, and that's after we'd done lots of work on it already. So we got rid of that, and I needed another car to be able to tow the vans with for business. And I was looking around for quite a while actually. Thankfully I was in the position where I could borrow a car for a little while when we needed to tow the vans. And in the meantime I had a little BMW E90 320i, which was a nice little car by itself, but obviously it wasn't able to tow the vans. I'm just going to see if I can pull in here. Looks good. So, since I've owned the car, I have replaced a few things. Not really mechanical. It's done about 237,000 roughly, and mechanically it's really good. The diesel motor is fantastic. As I said, it's really torquey. I don't know the exact specs, but I know that it's got over 500 newton meters of torque. I'm not sure how many kilowatts, but I believe it's about 8 seconds to 100. But you can really feel it, like drivability wise, you can really feel it takes off pretty quick, which is all in that high torque spec that it's got, at least, high for its day. To give you an idea, the Jackaroo that I think had about 340 newton meters when it was new. and that's also a 3 litre diesel. That's a 4-cylinder though. Okay, I don't want to get too off track. So basically I purchased the car about a month ago. I've just replaced sort of cosmetic stuff. The rear BMW badge was missing. There was a couple of bits missing on the sides where it's got 3.0D. Just little things like that. I just like slowly going over and fixing up the cosmetic stuff. The two things that I didn't like when I got the car, one was that the stereo, it was the original stereo and it didn't work. Like, you could get radio working, but the screen didn't work at all. It had the original BMW navigation system, similar to, probably exactly the same, to be honest, as what comes in the E39. So yeah, it wasn't much good. I'm sure it was good back in the day, but when I owned the E39, and this will show you how similar they are, I actually put an Android head unit in it, and the one that I put in was an Eonon brand. It's E-O-N-O-N, and I've got no affiliation with them at all, but I remember it being really, really good. So basically I went and had a look online and managed to get a similar one, just updated. I'll show you it in a second. It's designed to look like it's factory and fits in the car, and does a really good job at that. But it's got all the newest Android Auto features, that kind of thing. And the other thing I didn't like when I got the car was the sunroof. It's got this big panoramic sunroof here. You probably, I don't know how well you can see it. But basically I went to press the button and the sunroof didn't work at all. So at least it's closed. Oh, the top bit is, but I can't get the actual sunshade to close. Basically the whole thing's immobilized. There's a way that you can manually move it. There's a tool that actually comes with the car, so that if it gets stuck open you can manually close it, which is a cool idea, but unfortunately mine has other issues, and yeah, not quite sure what's wrong with it. The reason I mention that is that apparently it is common in E53s for the sunroofs to break. I've had people mention, if you buy an E53, don't touch the sunroof if it works. Just leave it so it doesn't get stuck open. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. And I did get a quote for doing it, which seemed incredibly high to me personally, and it was about $7,000 or something that people wanted to take the sunroof apart and fix it. But maybe it does cost that. I don't know. It's not something I've had experience with. But yeah, otherwise I'll turn the camera around in a second. I'll just show you around the car quickly, and yeah, show you what I've done to it. Alright, here it is in all its glory. There's nothing really that bad about it. It's got a small dent on the bonnet, but really that's about it. All the lights work. There's a little bit of fading on the lights here, which probably isn't very uncommon. I'll see if I can get it out with some sort of headlight repair stuff, but that's not really a huge drama for me. The headlights in this car are at least easy to access. I know in the 3 Series you had to actually take the wheel off to get to them, which was rather inconvenient. Alright, round to inside. Now, most of the all the seats and everything in the car are really good. The only issues that I've got are a couple of these trim pieces here are coming off. I'll have to have a look at fixing them. It's not a big issue, but I think it's happened because the sunroof's been left open in the middle of summer for so long. It's probably the heat's just got to a couple of things like that. Anyway, so here we are inside. Just to go over things real quick. Got automatic headlights. They work quite well. Haven't had an issue with them at all. That's just to adjust the brightness of your dash, and then you've got this to level your headlights, and then you've also got front and rear fog lights. Alright, the seats are really good. You got that front support there that comes out. It's quite comfortable. Now bear in mind this is a driver's seat, so it's seeing the most use, and it's still really comfortable. As you can see, the other ones are in pretty great condition as well. You got storage space in here, a fair amount. It's a bit difficult to sort of demonstrate, but you know, you can fit probably about 5 cans of Coke or something if you take that as a measurement. But you can fit a fair amount in there. And then up the top, you've got this little bit I haven't really used. That's for an old phone which would have come with the car that is obsolete now. And then you just got a couple of little trays for things. Inside you got dual zone climate control, same as the E39, and it's works quite well. Quick side note here, the camera decided to cut out when I was halfway through the filming the interior. It's not too much else to add. Basically the interior is really good quality. I just had those minor blemishes which I already showed you. The boot's quite good. There's tons of cargo space. It's got a split tailgate, which works really well. The seats fold down. Cup holders are really good. You got cup holders in the back as well. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, it's a nice, comfortable place to be. Righto, here we are. So the model that I've got is the 3 litre turbo diesel. It's a 6-cylinder turbo diesel and outputs, I believe, about 500 newton meters, a bit over 500 newton meters of torque, which for its age is quite considerable. It really is quite decent, and you notice it when you go to take off. So what I'll do, I've got to get up to 80 here pretty quickly because I'm on a bit of a blind corner. So I'll show you in a second what it's like to drive. I believe the official figures are about 8 or so seconds, 0 to 100. I'm not sure exactly how many kilowatts it puts out off the top of my head. But remember, the car weighs 2 tons and it's a diesel. So it's pretty good. Alright. Let's see if we can go off here. The speed limit's 80, so I can't go any faster than that, but that's 80. Now we're back down to 60 again. The road works. Let those cars go past. Now, in terms of the car's off-road capability, look, it's not a purpose-made four-wheel drive. It doesn't have dual range. It does have a lot of torque, which helps it a lot, as I mentioned. but it doesn't have dual range. What it does have is a sort of like a hybrid system called BMW X5, which I believe can put power to each of the individual wheels. I haven't really tested it very much at all. I'm just going to go up this very small section here just while I'm talking to you. I'm led to believe it's okay, but if you're looking for a vehicle that's going to be really good off-road, the X5 probably isn't what you're looking for. You're going to want to go for a proper dual range four-wheel drive with diff locks and everything. In saying that, we'll go for a quick drive. This is hardly anything fancy, so like I should say that they're kind of good for going, camping and sort of softer trails, stuff like this, but nothing too extreme. I wouldn't be going rock climbing or anything with it. So on that note, you've got the X5's got a facelift in, I believe it was 2004, and from what I understand, the pre-facelift models were basically just an all-wheel drive vehicle that put 40% of power to the rear, 60% to the front. And then the facelift version introduced the X-Drive system. Which apparently made a fairly big difference. So if you're looking at a car to do occasional off-roading with, you probably want to just consider looking at one of the facelift versions. So here's an example. In the old car I had, the Jackaroo, I would have just gone straight through that. But with this, with road tyres, and if it's a little bit boggy, I'm not very confident going through that. So unfortunately I'll have to turn back. So in terms of what I really like about the vehicle, on-road performance is really good. You still got to remember it's over 2 tons when you're going around corners and whatnot. So I mean, you can take corners pretty quick. It feels pretty nimble for its size. Don't get me wrong, it's quite nice to drive, but yeah, I guess you got to keep that in mind. Alright, we'll just come down here. Now these do come with hill descent control. Why, I don't know. Mine doesn't actually work. Like, the button doesn't even do anything, so I think mine's probably a bit faulty. I've tried it in numerous different positions in neutral, in drive, driving along stationary, all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't do anything. So I can't really comment too much on that. So when we purchased the vehicle, we got it for towing our caravans. We've got a small classic caravan hire business, and I guess, when you purchase a vehicle, you're purchasing it with a purpose in mind generally, and for what we need, it fits the purpose really well. The old car that we had, the old Jackaroo, used to bog down going up any hills. It was really, really slow. And, sorry, let's get back on here. And, yeah, it wasn't that great to drive. It was kind of like, it was very, very floaty, and it was great off-road, but on-road it was pretty bad. In terms of running costs for the diesel, it's not too bad. It does have a 90 litre tank, so it's good. It means you can get about a bit over 1,000 kilometres out of a tank if you're generous. But it's not cheap to refill. With the current price around $2 a litre for diesel. I haven't actually filled it up completely from empty yet, but you're looking at probably close to $200 if you go from very close to empty. So it's probably comparable to what you'd be paying with most larger cars now anyway, but just something to keep in mind. Alright guys, the video's up to 20 minutes already, so I don't want to bore you to tears. But basically, when it comes down to it, would I recommend first generation X5? Yeah, definitely. As with any car, you've got to look at it, look at its service history, and look at, just do a general check over the vehicle. As I said, I did that with mine. There's no suspension issues, the motor's great, and that's what you want. And you'll end up with a really nice car. I don't think you can go wrong. As long as you do those checks and you understand its capabilities off-road, and don't try and sort of overdo it and get yourself bogged, then yeah, they're a fantastic vehicle. And they're great for towing, great for the family, whether you're going camping or whether you're doing a long road trip. They're really comfortable. And they seem to have quite a decent amount of power. Alright, well I'm going to leave it at that. If you've got any questions, or if I've skipped over something, feel free to just comment below. I'll definitely try and get back to you. And I hope that this review has sort of helped someone. And if you're looking at buying one of the cars, maybe it's giving you a little bit more clarification on a few things. Alright, thanks guys.